What's up, friends? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, discuss the latest alpha from the Bitcoin and crypto space, as well as bring you the highest frequency vibes. I hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. Sorry I missed you yesterday. Your boy was feeling a little bit down and out and needed to handle some business. Very chaotic day for me yesterday, so I was not able to make last night's episode, and I really do hope that you missed me. But your boy is back on hump day. It is hump day. Whoop whoop. Get over the hump. Yeah, good stuff, guys, man. I really I missed you. Did you miss me? Got some cool little bookmarks for you tonight, so let's get straight into the news. Got some base chads in the house tonight. Got some alpha to discuss, so let me just come over here and make sure that the screen, yep, I'm little, the news is big, good to go. All right, let me get into it. And from Zero Authority DAO, you can follow them at Zero Auth DAO. The day for V2 is really getting closer. Zero is a base chat within this ecosystem, along with HODL Stacks and the whole Zero Authority crew building on-chain reputation. And I've got a sneak peek at V2. The Zero Authority V2 platform looks very sleek, and I am looking forward to talking with him tonight. He is actually in the house. So make sure that you guys give them a follow. Go check out Zero Authority DAO and start building your on-chain reputation. Very important in the Web3 space. Moving on here, from the STX Watch, and you can follow them at STX Watch. Big fan of George and what he is doing with this. This is a post from Monday. Breaking Rue and RueCoin. You can follow RueCoin at RueCoin BTC. Is very close to being the second coin that displaces Welsh from the top positions. That's bullish. What's bullish is that Rue has a LR, which means liquidity ratio, of 1.36 compared to Welsh's 31.73, making RueCoin one of the most secure meme coins on Stacks. Big shout out to our Rue Brews and our beloved Jackson Switch and Ian Banksia, base builders within this ecosystem, designing the ultimate DGen playground with Rue. So go get you some Rue on Bellar. Go check out STX Watch, and maybe we'll take a look at their platform in a little bit and show you what I like the most about it. Moving on, Bellar. So from the Bellar camp, and you can follow them at Bellar BTC. April delivered substantial progress for Bitcoin DeFi. Bellar expanded yield opportunities, celebrated key milestones, and strengthened community knowledge. Your support continues driving our momentum forward. Here's what we accomplished this month, a thread. So let's get into what they accomplished. Let's see what's going on here. They got a nice little graphic here. I'm really loving this graphic. Whoever has designed this is very clean, knows what they're doing here. But introduced 5% yield on USDH for Bellar PerpDex traders. For the first time in Bitcoin DeFi, users earned passive income on a collateral while maintaining active trading positions. Capital efficiency that worked for traders, not against them. So I really like using USDH, the first Bitcoin-backed stable, on the Bellar PerpDex to long Bitcoin and earn 5% APY paid out weekly. That is unheard of, man. I know the longs pay the shorts and the shorts pay the longs, but 5% for opening a position, can't beat that. Go long on Bellar PerpDex, get yourself in the game, and earn 5% with Hermetica's USDH. Not financial advice, and always do your own research. Just have to throw that out there for you guys so you don't get on my ass. Anyways, 20x points boost for SBTC, USDH, LPs in partnership with Hermeticify. Follow Hermetica at HermeticaFi if you did not know. Deploy USDH liquidity on Bellar, earning trading fees, and multiply your Hermetica points. Real incentives for Bitcoin DeFi liquidity providers. So many different ways to earn in the Stacks ecosystem. Very base stuff going on. April 3rd marked 1 year since Bellar's TGE. We're grateful to our community for supporting us from day one. Happy birthday to Velar. I did not realize that April 3rd marked their 1 year. So congrats, Velar. And if nobody told you, happy belated birthday to the base chads in this ecosystem building BTC5 trailblazing the space. Hosted 2 community market updates and insight streams this month with Sure. Oh, this is Resh. You can follow Resh at Sure SH. There you go. Take a snapshot. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher it. Sorry, Resh. Pulsar. You can follow him at Pulsar and Cryptolandy, my buddy. Follow Cryptolandy too. Community-driven analysis helping traders make informed decisions in the Bitcoin DeFi landscape. Very good stuff. And got this cool little picture here as well. Big shout out to Mythal. This is Rainfire right here. Velar Creator Program delivered tangible results in 10 weeks. 100 winners celebrated, 500,000 Velar rewarded, 10,000 community submissions, hundreds of new voices strengthened Bitcoin DeFi. The program is pausing temporarily to prepare for an enhanced return. So looking forward to the enhanced Velar Creator Program. Very cool stuff. I love that they are paying out content creators within the ecosystem, kind of rewarding them for their contributions in the space. Liking that and also sharing this. Excuse me. Released comprehensive Velar perp documentation covering Oracle feeds, mark pricing, funding rates, position management, and liquidation processes. Built for traders who value transparency and seek deeper protocol understanding. You can go check that out, and I'll go ahead and share it. You can follow me at GPSC_STX if you want to check that out, or just go follow Velar at VelarBTC. Published educational content on Velar Agatha Perf collateral system. Long positions require USDH collateral, short positions need SBTC. This design creates a more stable trading environment with clear risk parameters. Very cool stuff, and got a couple other things there. I'll leave that for you guys to check out and read. Follow Velar, get into the know, go trade on the Velar Perp Dex, use USDH, and get paid out 5%. APY paid out weekly. Very cool stuff. Again, from STX Watch, important front end update. We added DFA down from all-time high and composite sentiment to the front page. You can now see quicker. How tokens are performing. Also change the trust score and liquidity rating into the same style for consistency. Mobile ready by the end of the week. Let's click on this. Other UI tweaks. So they got this little video here that you can go check out how it works. You can now sort by these little ratings. Definitely another base tool in our ecosystem, STX Watch. And from Dylan from Bitflow, you can follow him at Stacks Developer. Check it, DeFi nerds. So first, we rewrote the main curve AMM formula below in clarity language, not easy. Then we generalized the formula one level higher to support stable swaps with liquid stacking tokens, LSTs. Today we launched Flex Pools, more details in the quoted thread. And, we can get straight into what Flex Pools are in a little bit and read about that. And if you are not tuning into the Bitflow building on Bitcoin spaces for the alpha, you definitely need to be showing up for those on Wednesdays around 3 p.m. ET. And go check out the DeOrganized Media calendar, man. We've got all these spaces logged for you, and you can set your reminders directly from there. Maybe some dApps on the way. Pay attention, guys. Stay in the know. Follow Bitflow at Bitflow_finance. Cool stuff, Bitflow guys, Bitflow chads. Dylan, love you guys. Moving on. Bitflow, also from Bitflow here. Bitcoin Beach is coming to Vegas. Bitflow x Liquidium, x Trio are bringing the sun, sats, and surf vibes to Mike Tyson's Tiger Mansion. May 28th, 3 to 7 p.m. Tyson's Tiger Mansion. Builders, Bitcoiners, beach vibes. Apply to join. And they have this little cool picture that they put together for this with a bunch of ordinals. Got some pizza ninjas, got some puppets in there, got dog, quantum cats, all that in the above. So very cool stuff. I love this little picture that they put together for this. Moving on from Zest Protocol, and you can follow them at Zest Protocol. USDH borrowing costs remain low at just 1.92 APY, all while USDH stacking on Hermeticify is yielding 6% APY. A simple yield arbitrage strategy for Stacks DeFi lovers. So go borrow against your collateral on Zest for 1.92% APY. Go stake it on Hermetica's new 2.0 platform for 6%. And there you go. Boom. You're earning 4.808% there off that on a stable. Go ahead. And you got that through borrowing and lending on Zest. So very, very cool. Another one from Zest that I thought was very interesting. The Alex token by Alex Labs, and you can follow Alex Labs at Alex Lab BTC, is now live on Zest. Earn yield on your idle Alex, borrow Alex tokens to unlock new DeFi strategies, leverage your Alex as collateral for even more liquidity. By listing new assets, Zest is becoming the central hub of Stacks DeFi. Very cool. I love to see new tokens getting listed on the Zest platform. Got me feeling very bullish. And if you haven't, guys, go jump into the Zest and Stacking DAO Discords. I am the community lead over there, kind of taking over and making some fun incentives and stuff for the month of May. The new activity schedule will be coming out soon, later this week. So jump into the Zest and Stacking DAO Discords. Love you. Another one from Zest here. Another Zest weekly recap is here. Let's dive into the numbers, and I'll go into this just a little bit. AEUSDC supply plus 48%, so from 311K to 461K. That's a good little increase there. More stablecoin liquidity equals a healthier and thriving ecosystem. Stacks community is definitely looking to earn yield on their stablecoins and borrow against them. Stablecoin borrowing activity has been spiking thanks to lower loaned interest. AEUSD loans at 7.5% up, and then USDH loans up 41.91%. People are liking that USDH is now powering Zest liquidations and that they have supplied over $1 million in collateral to Zest, making those loans very, very cheap to borrow. People are eating that up. So get on it. The loans are very cheap right now, 1.9 something percent. You're not going to get a loan for that cheap on a stable, which is a pretty much $1. You're not going to get that with perfect credit. So go utilize these tools in DeFi to get you some loans. SDSDX supply is up 9.68% from 15 million to 16.5 million. Liquid stacking tokens are increasing used as collateral on Zest as their yield helps offset borrowing costs. Running up. And that's a wrap on another Zesty week. Very based. I will like all of these right here. Boom, 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 boom. And I will make sure that I've liked and supported our base builders in this ecosystem. And huge, this is the big one from today. SBTC withdrawal functionality is now live starting today. Users can now convert SBTC from the Stacks network to native BTC on the Bitcoin mainnet. Here's how it worked and what to expect for SBTC. And maybe we get into this process a little bit later. I don't want to keep the guys waiting too long. So maybe we'll click into this and see how the whole process works. Get some hot and cold takes from it. From the main Stacks handle, you can follow that at Stacks. The FTX case, BTC is leading the most trusted crypto asset. Let me reread that. BTC is the leading and most trusted crypto asset, but its capital remains largely untapped. Stacks is becoming a key player to activate BTC full potential with SBTC, fast transactions, and BTCFi. Very based. I definitely gave that a like and a share. Stacks is the leading Bitcoin layer 2 for a reason. Everything is decentralized, including our wrapped Bitcoin asset. What's not to love about it? And a bunch of base builders in the ecosystem trailblazing, the path to 100 trillion or over $1 trillion in liquidity, right? So what's not to love? Get you some stacks, get involved. This community is a base community, and we are grinding. Moving on to the main news from Cointelegraph, the Federal Reserve is expecting to cut rates by a full percentage point in 2025, according to Routers. Look at this guy being hesitant, looking like he is like, yo, dude, I don't want to cut rates. Trump is like, yo, stop that, cut the rates. Let's pump these markets, pump my bags, Mr. Trump. Let's go. Thank you, President. Yeah, moving on from that. Justin Senator, Senator Loomis has introduced the Common Sense Act. The goal of the act is to suspend production of the penny and save taxpayer money. Common sense, right? Very cool. Yeah, they have printed our money to zero. Why do we need a penny anymore? Dollar's not worth. Yeah, let's not get there until we get the guys on. Insight: smart contracts were built on the idea that code is law, but for most users, they're unreadable and hard to interact with. That's created a gap between what's possible and what people can actually use. We actually have some people that know how to play with smart contracts on Bitcoin. So maybe we'll talk about that. How readable Clarity is, whatever. I just thought this is maybe something we can look at too together. Moving on, a trader turned $239 into $2.2 million by investing in the Solana-based meme coin House, gaining over 9,000x in about a month, according to Look On Chain. He sold a small position for $58K, but still holds tokens worth over $2.15 million, meaning that this guy will probably sell on you and holds probably a good amount of tokens. Probably got this while House was on the bonding curve, very, very small. That's why he holds a lot of tokens. That's why it's worth so much. Understand distribution dynamics and stuff like that, man. This is not like something you should get bullish over. Like, he turned $239 into $2.2 million. That means that he made the money. That doesn't mean that. Forget about it. I don't buy pump and dumps. So, North Carolina House has passed HB 92, which allows for the state's treasurer to invest up to 5% of funds into crypto. Wow, okay. So another state ready to hodl Bitcoin. We saw Arkansas, we saw Alabama, all sorts of different states getting their own Bitcoin reserves, and now North Carolina House has passed HB 92. Very cool. Just in, Visa and Bridge launched stablecoin-backed cards across Latin America. Users in Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Peru, and Chile can now spend stablecoins via Visa, merging crypto and everyday payments. Cool stuff. Ripple is said to have offered $4 billion to $5 billion for Circle. The bid was rejected. Okay, looks like Ripple is trying to buy out a USDC. Insight: these are the world's most Bitcoin-friendly countries. From tax breakdowns to crypto ATMs, some nations are going all in on BTC adoption. And we see here El Salvador at the top of the list because they have made BTC legal tender there. Portugal, Switzerland, Germany, Singapore, UAE, Netherlands, Malta, United States, and Bhutan. Very, very cool. And this is their Bitcoin acceptance rating, I guess, towards this little graphic that they have here. Cool, I'll give it a like. Just in, Coinbase adds WorldCoin WLD to its listing roadmap. So Coinbase is going to list WorldCoin. Very cool. Insight: traditional cloud storage struggles with speed, cost, and scalability, especially for growing needs like AI gaming and content delivery. Gammon's decentralized network taps into idle gaming PCs to deliver faster retrieval times, lower storage cost, and built-in redundancy, all while empowering users instead of giant corporations. Looks like a show to me. Whatever. Coinbase urges Supreme Court to protect crypto privacy. In a new amicus brief, Coinbase supports a case challenging the IRS's access to crypto data without a warrant, raising concerns over Fourth Amendment rights and digital privacy. Let's go. Keep your nose out of my business. Here we go. Roswell, New Mexico launched the first city-run Bitcoin reserve with a 2,906 BTC donation to be used once it reaches 1 million threshold. Cool stuff there. And then this is from Token 49. 1,000 people are seated in the main hall waiting for CZ. The doors are closed and no one else can get in, but at the same time, no one else can leave either. Fuck that. I ain't waiting for somebody that's caught in traffic. Here we go. Update. CZ is stuck in traffic, but he's on the way to Token 2049. Stay tuned. I get claustrophobic with all those people in there not being able to leave. Forget about it. And I think this is the last one that I'll read. Scammers are sending physical letters to Ledger users, posing as the company, requesting seed phrases for critical security updates via QR codes. Ledger confirmed the letter is a scam and cautioned its device users to stay vigilant against phishing attempts. Please, guys, please, as it's going to be that part of the cycle where scammers are coming out of the woodworks. They got quiet for just a little bit, but now they're coming back as retail adoption, retail speculation starts to ramp back up and stuff. Please be careful. Nobody is going to pay you outrageous sums of money to mod their Discord. Just download my game, test it out for me. No, don't. If you don't know somebody and they're trying to solicit you for a job and pay you money and this and that, it's a scammer. Be careful. Nobody's ever going to ask you for your seed phrase. Don't give out your seed phrase. That is like the golden rule. Don't let a scammer get you. I've seen a couple people get drained, and I don't want to see you get drained. Please be careful and make sure you're using safe security practices. But moving on, I think that's enough news for the day. I got the guys waiting, so let me stop sharing my screen. And hope that was informative and helpful. Let's bring the guys on. We got the base builder, Crypto Dude, in the house. We've got Zero from Zero Authority also with us tonight. We have our beloved Peace Love Music, and we have our legend of all legends, Jack and Switch. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Get over the hump. Let's go.
Based. Look at all of it. Dude, we got so many superstars in here.
My brother from another mother. Let's go.
What up, boy?
It don't stop.
I love the goatee you got going on there, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm getting sleep for the bull market,
Oh man, good to hear, man.
Jack,
good to see some legends on today, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be girlfriend season soon, right? Right,
Not
Jack?
for me. I got to get someone else my girlfriend.
Hey, just throw it my way, man. You know how you're trying to tell me to hook up with but talk to all the soccer moms, right? Just be like, hey, I know this guy, right?
He's not only the legend of Stacks Legends, he's the wingman of Stacks Wingman.
That's it, yeah.
Ooh,
Miss
another
would have my nuts and half my crypto, man. Can't do it. So someone else is getting my girlfriend during girlfriend season. The happily hook her up.
I love it, dude. So
I'm tired just sitting here myself, so I'm not really looking for a girlfriend season either.
Shit, this guy is single and ready to mingle. So you know what I'm saying.
I think you probably need the help actually, but we'll just hand them all over to you, man.
Bro, listen, I need me a good lady that is just like a nice, hey, I'll stay at home, I'll cook and I'll clean and stuff like that. That's like a traditional, a very traditional.
Wait, so here's what I'm saying. This is. Now, keep in mind, professionally, I've been a nurse, right? So who do I primarily work with? I work with women, right? Young women.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a life hack to all the young dudes out here, because I've been inundated and surrounded by young women for over a decade, about 15 years. Okay, so most young chicks, they can't cook a bowl of cereal. Okay, they don't know how to cook for shit Like, you watch them come to lunch, they always bring in their McDonald's or their Burger King or their DoorDashing or whatever the hell. So, young men,
They aren't cooking shit.
it's a life hack. Learn how to cook. Okay? Learn how to. You ain't got to be Emeril Lagasse in the kitchen.
Oh, life hack,
Right.
survival skill.
But you one like
That's a good skill. Even if you find a woman that can
Right.
cook, when you cook for them, that works.
oh yeah.
As long as you can.
Oh yeah,
cook it.
100.
If you're not good at it,
100.
If you get one
Jack,
that can
you're
cook-
bringing up something that's, and in society right now, people do not cook for themselves anymore,
No.
and it is crazy, dude.
No, and if you
I do
get one
yeah.
that can cook
What?
and you cook for her on like a date, she looks at you like you're fucking Gandalf, like this magic. Like, how did you do this? You know, like it's awesome.
So I got it easy then, because like I'm cooking. I cook every night. I cook every morning, or late brunch. But so I got it easy. Is what you're trying to tell me? Is like
Any chore
I
that you do for her is a bonus. Any chore you do for her, man. Anything you
But
can
I'm not
pick
saying-
up that makes her feel like she didn't have to do it, you're in.
But I'm at the computer for like 7 to 9 is like my day, right? So like I have to find time in between to cook, and I'm cooking.
What did I
late.
just say, dude? Like they out here burning cinnamon toast crunch, right? So like
Are you
know how long
using
it takes to cook something. So like you could be like, baby, I busted my tail all day. I'm doing my influencer thing. I'm doing my media thing, but I still was able to make some dinner for you. And it's something you can make 15, 20 minutes, you know? You got this.
Regular routine equals brownie
Yeah.
points. Oh, very over, dude.
Game over. Are you? Hey GP, are you doing the dating app thing with Pepto-C with Mark?
I should.
Yeah, you're
be.
saying
I have not
you're
started.
trying to find yourself a match there. I think that's what he's trying to do. Perfect opportunity.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the Bitcoin conference,
right now.
so you can expect a sausage fest. So, so if you're into ladies, let me tell you, it might be a dude.
You're right.
That you make sure
I think they have
if you
extras
start
out there.
Hey, if you're in the
just
Mike
such a
Tyson mansion and you are at the trio party and you have one too many, you better start asking yourself on the hot
Yeah, I won't let
scale,
that happen.
is she
I won't
super
let that
hot
happen.
and chill? That's probably a dude.
Yeah.
I'll live stream the dance, but then I'll get him the fuck out.
Is that a ledger in your pocket? Oh damn! Wait.
Damn, you're really into crypto. Let me fill that ledger. Oh,
Oh no, dude. Good point, Zero. It's gonna be a crypto bro central. Like, yeah, double check. Trustless is out the question. You gotta verify.
do not trust on this one. And I'll
Do not
caution,
trust.
be careful when you verify.
Be careful how
Be careful how you
verify.
verify. It can go really wrong or hell, it depends on how many you have.
Well, reach their own.
Man, yeah, so this is good vibes today, man. I just wanted to come vibe out with the crew, and I'm just so bullish, man, on the rest of the year and what everybody has going. Just hearing you read the news too, I was like, damn, there's a lot going on. And then
Constantly, too,
Yeah.
dude. The news is like this all the time.
I know.
Never
It's
stop.
so bold right now, and it's, the price action doesn't reflect it because there's other things going on, macroeconomically speaking.
Right.
But for stacks and just Bitcoin and crypto in general, things are. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll say.
So I was kind of thinking on the follow-up where we were talking after I had come on the other show, and thanks for the invite the other day, or I think that was a morning show, and I know we kind of were thinking about talking about the next cycles, and I was talking about the past, and I really been thinking about like what's going to kind of transpire over the next 18 months. This is where the legends are made, and I had joined on Dave's All Things Crypto show, and Landy had pointed out, he had saw one of my tweets, and it says bull markets make you rich, bear markets make you wealthy. And this is the point in the cycle where everybody takes their fucking ball and they go home and they're like, this crypto shit is for the birds. This shit isn't going to make me any money. This is never going to be real. It's just a bunch of degens trading. And a lot of it is true. It is a bunch of degens just having fun. and it's a bunch of dudes that we kind of live out our dreams because it's just fun to.
That's an element, but there's a lot more functionality.
No, I'm not saying that there isn't real functionality, but peace, love. If we're being completely honest, this is 1999 where we're still using AIM and instant message, and then everyone's like, yeah, there's Amazon, yeah, there's pets.com, but I don't really see this shit happening. But I am having fun with my friends in this chat room, and we're talking about dumb shit.
You're right.
And it's fun. It was fun.
Early internet phase.
So like when you think, because I remember using early internet and people saying this shit will never take off. Dude, I remember trying to watch videos on the stream players back in the day. Dude, that kids will never fucking know. Like, when you see buffering today, dude, buffering back when the internet started, it was like, turn on AOL. And then once it finally loads up,
you almost never.
Bro, you try to play a fucking video, you might as well go cut the grass, take the kids to school, go buy an ice cream. Because that shit did not work, dude. It would take like 3 hours to load, and then you come back to your computer, click it, and then it's still buffering. So I say that because I've been thinking about this, and it still is a lot of degen, still is a lot of fun. The biggest activities on blockchains is swapping assets, and I mean even NFTs are still like a really tiny portion of the global transaction across all chains. So that doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. But the point I'm trying to make is the people that are here right now are going to benefit the most. And I know, it would have been nice to buy Bitcoin 10 years ago. Everyone will agree with that. No one would disagree. But in 10 years, they're going to say, damn, you guys were lucky to buy Bitcoin under 100K. Because look at the price. Like, right. I was buying Bitcoin on Coinbase in 2016, 2017, and I was trading it. And fast forward to 2025, dude, sometimes I'll search my email and I'll see those old Coinbase receipts that look like super scammy. And I was like, dude, that was it. If I would have just held on to this shit. So this cycle, dude, like now that all these things that bear market bottoms, Rue, I'm loading up. So Leo, I'm loading up. Welsh, loading up. Solana, loading up. Dude, this is the time where people forget this is how you get ahead. Like right. Jack always tells us, get ahead of the curve, man. Get ahead of the curve.
People are like positioning now to make your profits for 2026, 2027. Like
totally.
That's how you have to think about it. You have to get out of this quick flip mindset that's only appropriate in some circumstances, and like it should only holistically be appropriate for a small percentage of your portfolio.
The more times you try to flip something, the higher the risk.
And also, like, who is selling at $1 million market cap? Like, you're crazy. $1 million market cap, and all SIP 10s right now are on a major, like, discount. You're never going to see them at these lows again. You're going to say, I wish I could have, would have,
Totally.
should have.
Totally.
Like all of these things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
dude,
the
Solana,
other
$1
thing-
million market cap is
It's
nothing.
nothing, but people don't think in terms of market cap. They're like, oh, this shit it went up 5x. I'm gonna just flip it. I'm gonna buy something on the bonding curve, and this is like the period of time. And I was able to do that back in 21. I was able to just kind of be patient, ride the waves of volatility, and it's really crazy because people will say, oh man, this cycle is different and it's never the same. Dude, you look at the charts, it's been the same since 2011. It's been the same in 2017. It was the same in 2021, and it's going to be the same in 2025. Now, there's different narratives that come along and things get a different lift and boost, but dude, you look at the charts and you study it, and you can dial it into like the way I have it now is like I can buy and sell twice a year, and those are the tops. Now, I'm never going to time the bottoms or the tops, but if you just limit it to 2 to 3 times, you will be in a better position for yourself, and so that's what I encourage everybody to do out there.
And that leads me to like a really good question for everybody is, right? Like I've read out there a couple of different times that like people are speculating that the 4-year cycle is over, right? Like that this time is different. We have institutional adoption. We have all sorts of countries, states, institutions, universities, like people, like medical industries, like every single industry is adopting Bitcoin. So is it different, and is the 4-year cycle still relevant? And I want to go around the room and hear like, what's your take on that? Is that a hot take that it's over and it's going to be different?
I think it'll be, there'll be some change, but I mean, as long as you have a Bitcoin halving, that's going to be something that shapes all crypto markets, right? So while you can say, I think you can make a very good case that this cycle is different because of institutional interests and like retail essentially being broke. It's introduced a novel dynamic, but I still don't think that really matters overall, as long as you still have a halving happening. And even now, the rate at which Bitcoin's being bought by institutions is so much higher than the rate that it's being mined. It's insane, right? Like that's why you can like look at the charts and be like, and then look at the news, and then BlackRock's buying this and Strategy's buying this, and friggin' Haagen-Dazs is now got crypto reserves or whatever nonsense company is like. But I think there's a case to be made that the halving, it means 4-year cycles, period.
So it's going to be something stable that like we see something, it might look different every 4 years, but it is still based on that supply demand dynamic that the 4-year cycle puts into the market, right? Like the amount of new Bitcoin going into the market is diminishing over time. So that does kind of affect it, but you're right. Like the institutions are buying at a rate. Like I saw like last week that MicroStrategy scooped up over $1 billion worth of capital and put it into Bitcoin. So, that tells me that like we're early. Like we're so early. We were early last year. We're still early now. Anything sub 100K is wild, So we're going to higher highs. Like what is like?
Let me say this one thing, because in some ways it has changed because the institutions are here, companies are now. When people say it, I know this is a little bit of wordplay. When people say adopting, I don't believe they're adopting it, because you still, and this is where I think people make the mistake. You see the headlines on X. They'll say BlackRock is buying 1 billion of Bitcoin and Solana and crypto. It's BlackRock isn't buying it. They're just a pass through for the ETF. So whoever is buying this ETF, it's just paper to them.
Yeah.
They're not going down and creating an account on Coinbase and buying some Bitcoin and then putting that into the wallet and stacking it forever, right? For a lot of companies, a lot of institutions, especially Wall Street, they just see this as another way to get beta and get make a risk play. And so now the micro strategies of the world, are they adopting it? I believe they are. I believe Sailor is definitely adopting it. Can I say anyone else is adopting this? The tell will be when we go into a full-blown recession and the economic decline, who is left on that list with a Bitcoin on their balance sheet. We'll see the real players and who really truly believes in this thing. The other thing I'll say is I really do believe as long as we have a halving, and I know at some point in the future the price will level off. I can't see that happening for a while though, because as long as you have a halving, you will cut the supply. And as long as you cut that supply, the demand will keep increasing. So you have an infinite amount of demand and limited supply. So how could that not impact the prices, or how could that not impact how valuable people start to consider Bitcoin? My mom knows about Bitcoin, right? She doesn't know about Ethereum, Solana, Stacks. Everyone knows about Bitcoin. Now, if you ask the vast majority, I saw a video on YouTube the other day of that. It was people our age. Like, a lot of people know about Bitcoin, and you ask them, do you have any? And 9 times out of 10 people do not have any Bitcoin, and they're not buying it. So I know a lot of us feel really late to the party because we've been here a while and we know what the prices could do. But you got to imagine, I just saw another stat. It said crypto is where the internet is if it were 2002. So it's just coming out of that first phase. And then we're going to get into the next phase of building. Now, I still believe something is going to innovate on DeFi in the next cycle. I know I've seen a lot of people talk about real world assets, but real world assets, it's for people who have assets and who want faster transactions of those assets. You're still talking about people who need to move large sums of money around. Now, can you get your birth certificate or can you get your home on the blockchain? Yeah, you could do all that stuff. So I don't really see that really exciting the vast population. The majority of crypto people, they get excited around NFTs, ordinals, and new innovations for DeFi. And if you track it each cycle, DeFi has continued to innovate. And things have come along the way. But really, that 17 cycle was innovation in DeFi because it was the whole ICO craze. So anyone could participate, and now I could take this money and buy and invest, right? The problem with investing today, as people in retail, we can't just go buy before the IPO because we have to be registered, right? That was the innovation there. Then in 21, we had the whole NFT craze. That was another innovation to a subculture of DeFi, but it was still DeFi in essence. It eliminated the borders, and anyone could buy these collectibles. And then even into 25, you have a lot of the DeFi primitive protocols across all chains now. And then this is why you see the proliferation of USDC across chains, or you see USDH, right, on Bitcoin. That was never possible. So I know we get excited about ordinals, NFTs, real world assets, but what I'm looking for in this next cycle is going to be things that are going to innovate on DeFi. And like what Crypto Dude is doing, like bringing like some element of reputation to social media where you could pay people, Like those are like we're going to see this continuation of DeFi and these new and novel ways that we were never able to do. So that's what I'm looking for in the next cycle.
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of crypto, dude, I really wanted to touch on like this new update that he's bringing with all the Asigna integrations, the space drops, all of that. Like, yes, like the innovation is like, so the last leg up in the Stacks ecosystem was driven off of like news for Nakamoto and SBTC launch and all of that. Now we have that implemented, and withdrawals were enabled today. So now this next leg up is going to be based on the app layer being built, the decentralized user-owned internet, so to speak, on Bitcoin and Stacks. And Crypto Dude is building a novel invention that is allowing us to tap into these DeFi, these ways to earn on the blockchain directly from X and social medias, man. So Crypto Dude, I hope I did justice by your intro.
Yeah.
Excited for this next
Yeah.
one, man. This
next update is going to be sick. So we're bringing a lot on the next update. You mentioned the Asigna multi-sig support for vaults. That's going to be huge, allowing users to start earning and spending as groups, and boosting as groups, and that's going to be legendary just in of itself. Then we got space drops, which is basically airdrops through spaces. So now basically we can have a means to kind of reward participants more active. Well, obviously whatever context you want, but members that show up to the space that they have their BNS name equipped, they can actually get their airdrop of whatever token that the airdroppers want to do. We also have additional tokens coming as well. We have some previews for the featured profiles coming. We got .id namespace coming.
You know what's cool about BoostX?
Oh, what that?
I don't know if y'all saw this, but it made me think about BoostX. Trump's got his own social media company called Truth Social, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're implementing crypto into the platform, right? So they're going to be like doing exactly what BoostX is doing on X. Mm-hmm. So I tend to believe that we're going to see X do something similar as well, right?
Yeah.
And here you are, like in the Stacks ecosystem, with just a base dev has front run an entire narrative by from some social media companies before it even happened. Like, how epic is that? That when we say you're early, you can go do on BoostX right now what you can't yet do on Truth Social or Twitter or wherever else it winds up. You can do that right now. That's what early means. Sorry, I didn't want to lose that thought.
No, yeah, we're also bringing it a more mobile-friendly UI UX for the mobile users that are using the Mises browser, because that's a Chromium browser that's mobile and supports extensions. So that's going to bring a bunch of users into the mix. There's the overlap of how all these different new features is what really gets me excited, because like having names in a vault, right, and then earning as a group, posting as a group, and having funds kind of controlled as a group, and then being able to like send out the homies to different spaces and try and grow the ecosystem and recruit new users, do some space drops. There's so many.
No, I can Crypto Dude, if I may, I can just, if it's okay to say, I know you and I are having some conversations behind the scenes.
Yeah, go for it.
So I really I've known of Crypto Dude for a while now, because he had the whole Disruptors, right?
Yeah,
Disruptors, right? So and I know he had the whole NFT thing going. You did it back in 21, right?
Yeah.
Or 22.
Early, like one of the first NFTs.
Yeah, early. And then you had come back. So this is interesting too, because I was in the ecosystem around 2019 because I had stumbled upon Ethereum. Then I saw Stacks at the time as Blockstack, and I was like, man, this thing, if it takes off, it is the next Ethereum on Bitcoin, and it's happening. It really is happening. It just takes time, but I saw a lot of the OGs have come back into Stacks. LMNO, I always mess up that name. LMNO, he's an early OG. He was around when Dan and I were around, and he's always kind of lurking behind the scenes. This dude is a base fucking dude. I think he did his PhD. We got a lot of people in Stacks who are just good dudes, good people. They have families. They believe in Bitcoin. They believe in the mission of data ownership, and we want to just have a way for the regular people to get ahead. And so I just love that about this ecosystem. But just to pull back the curtain a little bit, I would love for there to be a way. I don't know how this is all going to evolve and how it's all going to shake out, but I would love for there to be a way where we're using BoostX and we're tying it to gigs, bounties. We have some other things in the platform coming too along the way of DAOs, and then we have Nova, which is going to be able to tie into your Discord, into your Telegram. So I would love it if our APIs talk, or something where BoostX is linked to Spaces, and then that connects back to people's profiles. Can I share my screen, GP?
Oh yeah, bring it on up, bro.
Let me see. I want to just start giving some previews out here and giving.
When you started talking about Nova Zero, I got real excited,
to be,
bro.
Right there for sure, man. Like, you're talking about basically wanting deeper integrations, right? With Zero, or the Zero DAO, right? Oh, we got kids in the background. Sorry.
All good.
That's fine.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would love. Like deeper integrations. And it's not, to be honest. Yes, deeper integrations to Zero DAO, Zero Authority, and BoostX, but really it's beyond that. I consider it's like bringing data beyond the blockchain, and that's what we're doing, right? We're almost bridging people from the blockchain into Web 2 and beyond, and bringing them back, and that's kind of how I see the mission. And so what I'm thinking is in the new profiles, what we're able to do now is we're going to use the BNS addresses more, and we want that to be more prominent over time. Like how I think about this is, if you're doing something on BoostX, we should have a tab for that, so I could see what spaces you're a part of, what communities on X you're a part of, and then not only that, right? The whole concept of reputation. It's not just what you're doing on Zero Authority. Obviously, I would love for everyone to do gigs and bounties and have DAOs. Oh, what's up, Wagme? I would love everyone. Like Wagme has his company called Block 9, and Block 9 will offer services, right? So we want to make that easy. We want to make it easy if you have a company. We want to make that easy if you're a personal brand. Something on our roadmap is that we're going to add services to your profile. So when you have a profile, and let's say GP, I'm a host on a show. Okay, I'd love to come on DeOrganized. Okay, dude, here's my link to my profile. Just go to my service, shoot me some stacks, shoot me some SBTC. Let's make it happen. And it's just an easier way to pay someone too, right? Like I don't constantly have to ask you what's your wallet address. People, the first version we had, and I didn't even realize people were putting this in their link trees as a way to say, this is who I am. And it never even occurred to me that people were going to do that. And so that was one of the big reasons why we overhauled everything. And we said, let's make such a beautiful experience that people are proud to put in their link trees, because here's my profile. Go find me, and then what you could do from there, I can offer you a gig, right? Let me just log in really quick here.
You're good. Yeah, dude. I put it in my link tree immediately as soon as I learned about Zero Authority and what you were doing, man. I had to throw it in my link tree. It makes
you talk
sense.
about being ahead of the curve. Like nothing is more ahead of the curve than zero authority dial. Nothing
Facts.
in this space. You're just now starting to see people talk about on-chain reputation, and Zero Authority Dial has been talking about this and building this for literal years.
Dude.
There's like narratives, and then there's visionaries. Zero Authority Dial is like it's birthed from visionaries. That's just the facts.
Dude, thank you, dude. Dude, man, that means so much to just hear those words, man. Because Jack, a lot of people don't know, but Jack was one of the first people to ever write about Zero Authority. Because we had the podcast, we still have the podcast. We'll probably bring it back at some point, but we were interviewing people all the time, and then Jack said, "Hey man, I'm gonna," in his cool Southern accent, like, "I'm gonna write about you guys." And at the time, I didn't know who this slick guy was, and then I came to learn about Jack and meet him, and he knows my family, I know his family, and then he wrote the first article on Zero Authority, and I was blown away because no one had ever taken the time to interview me and Hodl Stacks and say, man, what the hell are these guys building? Because people only saw us like as podcasters, and we knew that and Zero Authority and the company Trajan is barely starting to come into the vision that we initially had for this thing, and it's taken us years. But the other thing I would say is, I mean, I look at different meme coin communities. Leo and Rue is a perfect example, right? There's NFTs a part of the culture. You guys even created DMT and brought that to Stacks, where you actually have images on chain. So the defenders are actually images on chain. No one else is really doing that at all. And we're going to see this, right? We're going to see people who are the founders of whatever they're building, and they're pushing the boundaries. And if you're not a founder and you're trying to push the boundary, and I define crypto dude in that arena. I define DeOrganized and what you guys are in that arena, creating a website and have a wallet connect to that. The thing I would love to do over time is connect to all of these things. And I don't, we're going to make it so easy so people can come in, give an endorsement. People can go directly to whoever they want to work with and do that, and they can work together and then have that organization. Not only that, we're gonna have some AI DAOs. We're gonna use what AI DAO started, and we're gonna bring DAOs and something, a concept that I really want. We reorganized and re-architected bounties, dude. When you guys start playing around, I can't wait to see some Rue bounties on here, because it's just going to be a clean and really cool experience. That we use Red Block Labs to do the whole UI overhaul. We overhauled the UI. We rewrote all of the Clarity contracts. Big shout out to Shishil, Hodl Stacks, Haas, and the whole Zero Authority crew. Hattie has helped us. He's the community manager. We've decisively built this from the ground up to say, if we give people the best experience possible for gig, bounty, to run a community, to organize that community, what would that look like? And what would it feel like if you're using Web3 and you don't even know it? And so we're getting closer to that reality. And it, like Jack, like you said, it's funny. I've seen a couple of protocols too say, yeah, we're bringing reputation on chain, and I think it's funny because this is a really hard problem. It really is a hard problem. When by the time I think people get to what it means to like have reputation on chain, it's the problem that we've been solving and going towards, we'll have a head start. We'll have a head start, and we literally had to design the contracts from not. There was nothing in Ethereum. So you read that news article from Bitflow, right? And I love the guys at Bitflow, and they're smart. They said they looked at Curve, rewrote the code for Clarity. How many DeFi protocols, how many NFT apps, like they saw a template and they said, okay, I want to kind of do that. Let me go read the code. Dude, when we started and we said we want to make a gig marketplace, I literally had to blow off ancient scrolls. It was like, it's kind of like the Indiana Jones and the Temple Ark and shit. Like, I literally had to go find the Ark Covenant. Like, all right, how the fuck do I put this Rosetta Stone together, and how the fuck do you even do this shit on chain? Like, there was no template, there were no blueprints, there was nothing I could copy and paste at all. And so what people are seeing here, they're going to say, oh shit, let's just go copy their code. Well, you can look at our Clarity contracts and you still won't be able to make heads and tails of it. By the time you make heads and tails of just the gig contracts, and then the bounty contracts, and then the DAO contracts, dude, I'm telling you, this shit is a hard fucking problem. And it's one that it took. I mean, me and Hodl would meet on Saturdays and Sundays, and we would literally have like whiteboards like, okay, if I send you a gig request, what do you fucking have to do to accept this thing? Should I just automatically be able to accept it? No, yes. Okay, well then, if it goes into dispute, how can we bring a decentralized process into this? So like, people think, oh, Google and Amazon, they're just going to run away with Web3. It's not going to be that easy. It's going to be the people who actually built from the ground up, and they built these protocols in a native way, with native Web3 language, with community, with decentralization. It's not just going to be, I bolted on a XYZ domain and now I'm Web3. What's up, baby? It's going to be the people who truly understand this shit. The company's going to change. There's going to be, Meta, they changed their name to Meta, right? Just because you fucking change your name or you add a new domain, dude, it's not going to cut it. People are way smarter than that.
You mean Zuckerberg getting into MMA and changed his company's name to Meta didn't pull the wool back over your eyes? Come on, man.
Well, he's gonna get a female PFP Twitter before they go to Web3.
Yeah, man, I'm just like I'm really impressed with so many builders in the ecosystem. I really got to say, the one thing I hope to see more, I really want to see people use BoostX. I really want to see people do something with the defenders and DMT. I would love some kind of cross collaboration, or using DMT and then what you guys already created on chain with the and then payable in Rue. Make it payable in Rue. Do something with the LP rewards on Bitflow. I would love that. I would really do that. I'd love to see like the collaboration across the chains.
Right, and there's so much that can still be done. Like everything is early. Like people are. That's why I've been posting about what I've been doing on Zest. Like I've just been building positions and meme coins that I don't have enough of by borrowing on Zest at these levels, right? Like and that's just the DeFi aspect, and there's so much that we haven't explored yet, and it's just a matter of time and attention and onboarding, and I think all of those things are coalescing in the not too distant future, because we're becoming too big to ignore.
I think so too. Something that I would love to do is, over time, I would truly love this to be like, I would love your reputation and your profile on our application on the protocol like you could truly mint that in a way that is truly ownable. And so anytime you want to bring your profile to our protocol, you can connect your wallet and then grant us access. But if you want to remove those permissions at any time, you could do that. Something I've been thinking about is, if how could we make it where it doesn't, zero authority doesn't even exist in the front end. It's just all in the back end. And one of the ways I see that that could play out is, like, let's say for example, Jack, you came to zero authority because you want to set up your on-chain reputation. You could maybe, like, we have a partnership with dot lockers, so you create your dot locker, you link jackman switch .btc, and then boom, you could log into zero authority, decide which persona you are. Am I a developer? Am I a content creator? Am I, whatever personas we have? And based on that persona you have, you kind of get this out of the box. So when people go to your dot lockers, they see who you are and the reputation that you own and the things that you do on chain. I would also love for people who have badges. I had explained this to, I can't remember, it was one of the protocol core devs, and I said, hey, all the stuff. Oh, I think it was Sabby at Hero Systems. I said, you use GitHub a lot, right? And he was like, yeah. And I said, you got badges because I could see your profile. You got badges on for what you've done. That's pretty cool. You must be proud of that, right? And he was like, yeah, I love that. I love that people could come here, see my profile. And I said, well, what if they deleted your profile and there were no way to see those badges that you've earned? You'd probably be devastated, sad. GP, you lost your account at one time. I mean, that's a different level of concern, but just bear with me in this one. If you have all these badges that you've earned on GitHub, you have badges that you've earned on LinkedIn, there should be a way to mint your rep badges and display them here and own it in your wallet. And not only that, there should be a way, if I go to Jack's site, if I go to Crypto Dude's site, or if I go to DeOrganized Media, I could display the things that I've done and the earnings and the reputation and the credibility that I've built. That's the vision. That's the vision that I really want to promote. That's what I would love for all of us to do across this ecosystem. If you're a builder and focusing on creating Web3 systems, not only focus on building what you're building, but how can it connect in the grand scheme?
That's huge. Like finding a way that not only enhances the way we earn reputation in this space in a novel way, but that a way to connect every single protocol in this space. That's why I love what both you and Crypto Dude are both working on. I think that there's a really cool like connection between both BoostX and Zero Authority that could be made there. Bringing everything all together. We're already a really, really tightly knit dev community to where everybody is already like talking with each other behind the scenes and stuff like that. But like the magic, whenever we get to speak about it, like on the show live and see real connections being made in real time. That's what's special about the night show, man, is that we have base builders coming on, spreading their ideas, kind of formulating the ideas together, live, building in the open.
I like the idea of having reputation NFT badges and stuff like that are earned, via Zero Authority, the DAO, or the different interfaces that kind of like you described, and then having those also be renderable in other platforms, via BoostX, like on X. So like imagine a new tab on a profile page that's got the bounties that you're also listing on Zero Authority, so that way people could kind of see the work that you're doing elsewhere, have some backlinks obviously to those bounties, and or some direct engagement. I mean, the possibilities for what I like to think of as like the infinite Venn diagram is literally infinite. It's like it's crazy.
Download. All right, so you download the BoostX Chrome extension, and when you hover over somebody's PFP, a hamburger menu drops, or no, not a hamburger menu, but a little menu pops up that has all the accolades from Zero Authority with a badge saying, "This is my reputation score." Boom. This is like this accolade, this accolade, this accolade. Has like that type of analytics.
You're talking about in the mouse hover effect when you're mouse hovering over the profile, the element that pops up. Yeah, that we haven't even tapped into that element yet, but it's most definitely rendered, and it's going to be uniquely identifiable based on pretty common DOM standards, and so. Basically, yes, we could do something like that. I was more speaking specifically to, on the profile pages themselves, like an additional tab being injected, kind of like we do with the notifications tabs on notification page. But yeah, I love the idea of being able to interact with bounties that are authority bounties.
One of the things.
I mean, that would be sick.
Good to see you, Jack. Good to see you, brother Jack. One of the things too, like why I got excited about BoostX is, so to your point. So this is what we've been telling people, and it's still not quite ready and quite not there. But we have this open standard reputation framework, and so open reputation framework, that's going to be completely open source. This is how people mint rep badges that are non-transferable NFTs.
Nice.
And so anyone can adopt this standard. Anyone can use it today. We still have to actually go through the process, make it a whole SIP and everything.
So
the other side of it is called Gravitas, where it's our actual reputation engine, where it's kind of this closed system where we're going to have the reputation on the profile pages that it's feeding all this data into the reputation engine for a user profile. And we're going to have APIs for all of this stuff, right? Now, granted, we would love for people to adopt the reputation framework. And like when people are on BoostX, you should be giving out badges for what people do there. So Zero Authority isn't the only one giving out badges, but we're presenting the concept so you can go off and do it. Like gotcha. Alex, Bitflow, Valar, their creator program, they should also be issuing badges, right? So that's what I'm trying to. That's my number one
you're
goal.
Looking for like you're envisioning not just presentation of the badges earned, but also the capacity for the issuers of the badges. The rep basically based badges that non-transferable NFTs, basically, as you like to call them. Like I think they also are called like soul-bound NFTs. Some people call them that, but
yeah, you could call them that too.
But basically, going to people's profile pages as the issuer of that, and then issuing them that by going to the
100%
profile page.
The way I see reputation, and reputation for me is different from identity, right? The identity layer is really hard to. It's a hard problem to solve, like what constitute identity, but reputation is just the things that you're doing on chain. All of these things constitute this credibility that you're building. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Crypto Dude, that you go to this framework and you issue your own badges to your community as well, and people who use BoostX. So like I had used BoostX, right, and did a test run. I should get a badge issued from you.
Totally. Yeah, eventually we're going to make it to where users are there. There's a myriad of things that are happening, not just when you're not just going to be tipping, the person you're boosting. There's going to be mining of a token. There's also going to be like a little alpha here. I'll just go and drop it.
Oh shit.
So we're going to also be having a referral system in there. So onboarding, as ambassadors, we'll have an incentive mechanism to start basically getting paid. So essentially a 10% of the service fee that's being collected will be carved out to the referring party. So there's going to be a real incentive for people to go out there and find real users, and but there's also some plans there.
No, that'd be dope, and that's why I get excited about using the API. Something I've been contemplating, and no decisions have been made yet. But one of the things I'd love to do, GP, if you can make this full screen really quick. One of the things I'd love to do is, so when we have DAOs, so this DAOs won't go live it won't go live in the V2 beta, but when we have DAOs, one of the things I've been exploring is, could we create, so when you create a bounty, we let you create your bounty hub. So if you want to create a different hub for each category of bounty or theme of bounty, it'll go all under that hub, right? And then it'll allow, you can navigate to the hub that you create, and you can participate in that bounty. One of the things that we do have coming after we get through the release will be this. We have a bunch of new concepts too for different types of bounties. So we got this community, it's kind of like a crowdfunding bounty. One of the things I've been contemplating is, how could we use BoostX to do this community bounty? Or maybe if people want to launch a DAO wrapped around a community bounty, and when you launch that DAO, you can raise how much ever funds you want. So let's say you want to raise 1 million Welsh, and you hit that goal, then it automatically creates the bounty. Then you're automatically able to give out rewards on BoostX to the early users who were sharing content or something like that. Does that make sense, Crypto Dude?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm trying to think about the logistics of it, but yeah, I get where you're going with it.
Yeah. I just, the main thing I want to bridge the gap in Web3 and Web2, and show people that as they navigate each of those worlds, they can do more than they can do today.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, there's so much opportunity here. It's crazy. Like DAOs are a real untapped powerhouse in my opinion. Like we just because the nature of where users are at online is kind of still Web 2, and where the nature of DAOs are at is Web 3. So there's kind of like this, you can't really have, well, I would say, well, you can obviously, but like DAOs are obviously more powerful, more people that are helping to fund the operations, and more involvement with growth of a community, obviously better. So, I want to see, like, I know you're talking about having people have their own, almost like a white labeled version of this. Is that what I'm picking up? Or, like, I know you mentioned that earlier, but like,
that, to me, to be honest, that's probably a far future kind of deal. Okay. Where you almost have the ability to have more of like that white label, like where you have a .locker and people go directly to cryptodude.btc.locker, and then they just see a profile page of you. Or if you wanted to create it like a store, or if you wanted to create it
template at that point.
Yeah, we wanted to create like different.
I like
different, different ways to view your data on the chain.
I like that because it kind of gives the capacity for users to kind of operate their own kind of front end at that point, right? And so,
right,
I like that.
Yeah, the other thing someone has asked us to, and is like, how do we create a network of networks? So, like, for example, we have this whole gig marketplace, right? But what if you only had a network of certain professionals that you wanted to create this network on? And we're trying to think of, like, if we allow that in the future, how could you create your own network within the network? And so maybe there's like a mint a gig marketplace. So then you mint your own gig marketplace, and then that falls under the web domain you want it to. But all those people you add in your network it all filters back into the global network.
Man, a lot of this, I get what you're saying there. A lot of this sounds very familiar with Derupt because I hammered on Derupt and I still do, but me and Crypto Smiths put years and time and energy into Derupt.
Dude, you guys had a really great idea, and
the model is very solid.
I still like that you guys were in that social fi space and creating like a network.
Yeah, we explored the different models for how we could kind of present data that's, because you're essentially talking about what's the optimized way to render the on-chain activity in a way that is, relevant to the consuming user based on the interface, right, that you're reading it from. So like if you're, like you were just saying, you're talking about like, different networks, right, so to speak. Well, that's a huge problem to solve, but we had kind of broken down the relationship based on the users deploying their own individual profile contract, and then that speaking to basically a core, and then that core basically speaking to some essential other contracts like the feed contract, and we had like some other contracts that were like essential contracts for tracking data and basically being able to index that data and read that data more in a optimized manner. And so the kind of the unlock we found was basically extensibility at the core, but so basically users could have an extension that was defined as an argument basically, and then passed along through their profile contract to the core contract, and then depending on obviously what the extension contract was, it would execute that in parallel to whatever the operation was being initially fired off. So like if they were doing a send message, they could extend that to do another type of operation in parallel at the same time. So that was a major unlock, and it still is. And like it's hard to kind of explain that to people what that means, because basically we're talking about some abstract things that you have to kind of envision in an application form if you don't actually have the app there. So I looked at it like it was like a puzzle piece. Like right now people are creating content on Twitter, right? Well, imagine being able to create content that's stored to your own storage, right? And then when you're doing that, you could mine, and then when you're mining, you could also do something else. So basically being able to do that something else at the user's discretion ultimately to the nth degree. So like, oh, maybe I want to do a swap. Oh, maybe I want to do, whatever type of function call basically to whatever contract. That was basically the unlock. So, abstracting, I think that, abstracting the profile contract to the core contract to the other contracts involved, it created a nice flow for being able to have modular functionality. So.
Yeah, and see, this is where we're going to focus is, see, you had a really good idea, and what I want to be careful of, because what we found, the gig marketplace, it was something, it was very transactional, right? And then the bounties kind of took off because it was just fun to participate and easier to participate. Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to do is look at the interactions that people want to make and make that super easy. So something that I'm even contemplating is the whole concept of like doing things on chain, like where you do a submission and that submission is on chain. Like, should I remove the on chain element of adding a submission? Now, what's important? What is you almost start to ask yourself, what is the most important thing that users want? And really, they just want to participate and be a part of communities. That's really what they want to do. So doing it on chain, yeah, that's great. But what actually has to be on chain is a question, Crypto Dude, that I'm starting to ask myself about. And so I've come around to the idea that doing less on chain is better, and doing the most critical things that you want to live on are going to be important. But one of the things too that I would love just across the whole ecosystem is for like the builders to get together and say, how can we make the experience better across the board, and then how could we allow for like easy onboarding, because I don't think we do a good job at onboarding users and then like keeping them there. So that's something I really been
Trying.
thinking.
I was stabbing in the heart. You're like, oh.
See you, bro.
I'm trying. No, I agree. There is some friction there still. That can be improved for sure. The one thing that stands out, like, because obviously a key component for SocialFi is human readable names. Nobody wants to go with the give me the long string address, please.
Right.
And so BNS is a huge variable there. Integrating that in apps that are quote unquote SocialFi or anything in that vein, so to speak, that's a good thing to do because it can kind of unify integration behind that. And obviously with BoostX we're leveraging that, and there is a way to make it a little bit smoother for onboarding users. I know you're wanting that fix, but like one option that comes to mind is because some users don't have obviously the name, but they're participating maybe the find to earn, and we need to get them a name. There we do have the ability to transfer names to oh, you bouncing. All right, we do have the ability to transfer names, but we want to transfer names more than just by other names. Obviously, it's a little bit of a chicken and egg there, so we gotta put it on the context modal to allow them to transfer by address. I'll smooth it over.
Yeah, dude. We're the feedback and like getting to know what it's always helpful, right? Like I'm trying to build up the Zest and Stacking DAO communities, so I'm reaching out to people to see what they want to see in the Zest and Stacking DAO communities. Like that feedback is always like essential to the process of no matter if you're a community builder, a dev. You gotta get it to in order to get to your long-term goal, right? So
Get
I love the way that
debug logs and then keep hammering. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah, dude. And you're one of those guys that shows up and shows out every single time, man. So like I'm truly thankful that we have these gigabrains in the Stacks ecosystem that are willing to like lend a hand, give feedback, work together on ideas, and just make it happen. We're trailblazing right now and making the like DeFi and doing things on chain. We're bringing it to where the users are with BoostX. So I'm really thankful that this innovation has been received well and that people are like getting in there and using it. It's really cool to see. And imagine what it looks like whenever we're in a full-fledged bull market and Stacks is ripping and we have this new innovation, what it looks like. So I know that you're building with haste and taking every bit of feedback into account. So, like with this next update, I know that you're probably getting pretty close to pushing it. One of my favorite things that I'm excited for is like the featured artist profiles. Is that going to be implemented in this next update, or is that going to be the next
It's
one?
going to be teaser implemented, we'll say. So
okay.
it will be there, but it won't be fully functional for people. It'll be more like the coming soon. Get your stuff ready, and then that will also inspire other people to understand what I mean when I say please sign up to be a featured profile page.
Give them an example, right? I got you. Picking up what you're putting down. So like there will be an example if you like it, and another thing is that like I love whenever you come through to the Art on Stack spaces, dude. I think that's a really cool novel like use case for BoostX, right? For these artists. I'm an artist. That's how I got my start in this ecosystem. So to maybe get a featured, mint button to be able to mint my NFTs directly from X is something that I am super excited about. And I love that the way that you think of it is, hey, let's think of who wants to use DeFi, who wants to mint NFTs, who wants to earn reputation, and being a bridge between all of these apps. So, yeah, dude, I think you're tackling it in the right direction, and also to know that later on in your roadmap, you're also thinking of other socials as well, and including Crypto Cash, including Derupt. Getting all of these things ready and lined up is crucial. And I think that you've shipped and executed flawlessly up to this point, right? Of course,
I wouldn't say flawlessly. There's been a couple minor little bugs here and there, but they're not anything critical that was major impacting.
I wasn't gonna play with it, or like with the idea, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you are absolutely crushing it for this ecosystem, and I would just wanted to share this really quickly because this was pretty big. I think this was awesome to see, and I can't not show it. So I'm going to share my screen now and show off my boy, right? Because you can't not have based Munib and then have BoostX in the background under app while he's talking at token 2049. Get out of here. This is huge. So BoostX is right up there next to heavy hitters in the ecosystem like AI, BTC, Asigna. We've got Boom there, Block Survey, all of the apps, up there with Leather and BNS. You see the BoostX rocket right there, right behind Munib. It is destined, my friend. And I think that if you have not downloaded BoostX Chrome extension, do not get left behind with the SocialFi revolution happening on Bitcoin. Get into the game. Follow BoostX_app. Follow CryptoDude at CryptoDude_BTC. Don't get left behind, guys. Things are going to happen, and they're going to happen very fast.
That's pretty cool about the space drops thing that's coming. Integrate.
Tell me about it.
Obviously, you're gonna drop tokens to users that are in the space. Obviously, right? That's the main get, right? But we also have the ability to add people's names that are not in the space, right, to the list of recipients. And if they're running BoostX, then they'll get a notification when they get their airdrop that'll link them back to the space. So that basically you can the space drop can serve also as an invite to try and incentivize people to show up to your space via the notification.
Oh, that is sick. That is sick, dude. Like even a notification that just a space drop happened in a certain space, just saying like, hey, this space drop happened, kind of like incentivize, like, you then find the space drop hunters that are like, okay, this is a space that was targeted. Now I know that maybe to show up to that space. That is, boom, Giga Brain, bro.
Yeah, that just, and also
awesome.
Was just giving the end user the ability to add a name to the list of recipients that was not currently in the space, and then
you can log all the BNSs that have been boosted and then received an airdrop as well to a list, and that's your list of people that you can pull from to send that notification.
Exactly.
To,
yeah, that's exactly
right?
how it works. So basically, everybody that's on that list, if they happen to be running BoostX at the time, when they'll get the little rocket on the bell saying, hey, you just got tipped, basically. Then they'll go to the fourth tab, and then they'll be like, oh, what's this, a little airdrop? Okay, and then they click the row basically for that notification. It'll bring them to the URL of the space. So we're cooking, dude.
How do we yeah, dude, cooking with hot grease is what it is. But how do we differentiate between, like, okay, so I received a boost and then like I could have received a boost? Do we like differentiate the color on the notification for like, hey, could have received possible
the
boost if I
notification
was
for spaces is still separate. So if people are on like a notification
Okay.
list to receive notification when somebody goes live for a space, they'll still get that. I'm talking about when the airdrop happens, the notification. So we already have built-in notifications for boosts right now. So when you're getting boosted, you'll see the badge pop up there, and you can check out the details. Oh, I got like 10 STX tipped to me or whatever, right? Well, it's going to be in the same component in terms of on that tab on the notifications page. But when you click on that row, it'll lead the user back. The person that received that tip, it'll lead them back to the space. So obviously the people in that space, it'll just serve kind of to confirm that they got boosted or they got their space drop right. But people that are maybe added to that list that weren't in the space, it serves as an invite, basically.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. That is so nuts. Maybe you could even do a timer of some sort, like space drop going down in 10 minutes, be there type deal or something like that.
Also forgot to mention we got the stream broadcast boost button in there. So basically any streamer that's streaming the broadcast on X, if they got their BNS name equipped, then now they're capable of receiving a boost. Well, obviously not now, but in the upcoming patch. Yeah, exactly. You, homie. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. And then the next thing, like the UI on that, where like you boost a streamer and then the boost X rocket goes across the stream, like you know what I mean? And it's just like
token the person sends. But there's some other stuff that has to be done to do that. And actually, that's something that anybody could actually do once we have this, because that's like basically. Have you ever heard of Twitch Elements? It's kind of like what Twitch Elements is. So people that stream on Twitch kind of know all about Twitch Elements, but it's basically a very similar thing. Like it's eye candy that pops up on the stream when you're with certain viewers do different stuff, right? So same concept.
So you can put a cup with balls in it, and then like when somebody tips, a ball goes in, and then it splashes the balls out of the cup, and like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, those are like Twitch Elements, right? Well, that same type of thing will be able to be done with BoostX streams, because we'll be encoding the relevant stream and obviously the recipient. So basically a service provider could have a URL basically that people that want to maybe pay a small service fee to could have access to, and then embed that in their OBS, and then it does a little splash of whatever token on their stream that they just got a boost of. So we'll eventually get to that, but somebody most definitely could beat us to that once the space drops is live, because we'll be prioritizing other features ahead of that specific splash effect basically on a stream. So.
But with so many other features and like integrations with other SocialFi and all of that, like, and on Bitcoin and
yeah, dude, it's so
just
insane when we start thinking about a Signa too. I mean, oh my goodness, like
yeah, the DAOs, dude. All right, so like we made a joke, right? Like whenever like somebody's not like they don't have. All right, so
talk about Will Saxon. What's that? Will Saxon.
Will Saxon
right now. Will Saxon. Will Saxon on BTC. I've seen you in some spaces, homie, and I've been clicking space drop button to see who's all up in here got a BTC name, and I see you don't actually have that name registered, brother. What up with that? So register the name before I register for you, and you start getting me paid, because that's what I'm about to do.
That's what we said. And then we're gonna call it Poser DAO, exactly. Right? We're gonna call it Poser DAO, and then we use those funds from your boost that you could have received if you just had a little skin in the game and got your BTC. Now it might be a different, you spin it on its head and you're say, hey, do you need help getting a BTC name, and then get you in the game? Let's do it. So it's two sides of a coin.
Yeah, true. Maybe he's just having trouble geting that name. We're here to help with that. Not trying to be a hater. I have seen you rocking that name for a while though, so
that's what I'm saying.
It's not that expensive.
Reach out.
So
if you are Will and you see this, reach out,
Will
dude.
Saxon,
We got you. We gonna get you. We
got
get
you
the
one way or
.btc.
another.
We're not.
We got you one way or another.
Yeah, we ain't gonna. Yeah, we're either gonna put you in the poser DAO or you're gonna reach out and we're gonna get you your BNS, buddy. So let's do it.
Yeah, I love it.
So we are rounding off around. Dang, we went for an hour 45 at the current moment. Just wanted to know if you had like any final thoughts, any final frequencies that you wanted to put into the ethos, shameless shows, whatever, to finish off the night, man. Like anything you want to put out there?
No, just keep building the change, folks. We're making moves, and if you're an artist, reach out to me. I'd love to see you get featured on there. If you're a DApp project manager and you want to see your DApp featured, let's talk. It's super easy. Just got to get a little bit of information from you to scope it out, and then if there's a feature you want to see added, let us know. Join our Discord so we can shoot the breeze. What else? I know there's something else I'm supposed to be saying.
Ambassadors.
Oh yeah, ambassadors. If you
go.
ambassadors. So like, yeah, ambassadors. So
yeah,
we need to get you guys or more of you guys, and then we need to also start. I think it'd be a good idea to get some of you guys in some vaults, so that way we can start having some ways to kind of have a little bit of connectivity between the ambassadors and help, kind of keep a little bit of, I just would say, internal self-regulation. And then, I guess, what else is there? Oh, we got contests coming. If we can get a few more members in the Discord, we basically do new contests every 50 members. So, that's easy opportunity for having some fun. Oh, the find to earns. Don't forget to participate in those in the morning. Don't forget to follow basically on X. Don't forget to leave a review on Chrome Store. Holy crap, this list is getting long. Sorry for the shameless shill list. That was like the shill list for like forever. Dude, that was like the longest shill list. That was hilarious.
We don't have it this week yet, so we needed to get it all out there. You have a major update coming, so why not, right?
We didn't really. I mean, I glossed over this, but the mobile UI the UX UI update for everybody that's rocking Android and mobile phones only and wanting to get Mises, get their Mises browser updated, basically to use it. That they're gonna have a good time now. So that's.
Oh, is that coming this update?
So we're unlocking.
Oh shit! You finished?
Yeah, we're unlocking Asigna. We're unlocking space drops. We're unlocking mobile UI. We're unlocking broadcast boosts. So we're unlocking like 4 huge features, in my opinion.
Dude, DM me. We got a space coming. Me and you need to do a space
Plus
together.
feature profile.
Talking about boosting. yeah, dude. Oh yeah, get out of here. All right. So soon as it's like pushed or whatever, get in my DMs.
Plus.id namespace. I mean, it's literally the biggest passion. Yeah, we've literally got the biggest push so far. How do we, like, what is it? A big old chi blast, you know what I'm
saying? Yes, dude. The glass is full. This update is based. You think about the memes, they'll be legendary. So get into the know with Crypto Dude and what he's building. Make sure you guys follow Crypto Dude at CryptoDude_BTC, like I said, and definitely follow BoostX_ app. Go download it on the Chrome Store. There is a link on the BoostX page. So yeah, guys, it's coming. Big stuff is about to happen, and don't get left behind, man. You can be early and be a trailblazer too. So go fill the gap, find where you fit in, and build the change, like Crypto Dude said. We got a space movement, dude. Let's go. Oh, and I hammered on some crypto knots tonight.
Oh, yeah, there's more alpha. Just the alpha everywhere.
Lots of alpha. You know how we do on DeOrganized Nightly. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming through for this based episode, man. I hope that you have a very, very blessed rest of your night. And
almost made it to 2 hours. Let's go.
Let's go. Big old strong emoji in the chat. So yeah, man. If you have anything else, man, definitely hit me in the DMs. like you said, you're hammering and building the change. So anytime you have any updates, you know what to do, bro. Come on through, man.
Cool.
Right on, man. Have a good
You too.
night. Later. And this has been another based episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope conversation, discuss all the alpha. Seriously, fresh and hot off the press. We get your favorite builders together and have awesome conversations where ideas flourish and come to fruition. Just tune in. We're live at 7 p.m. ET every night, Monday through Friday. And we have a lot of interesting stuff coming at the end of May, with live coverage for the Bitcoin conference coming. Be sure to follow DeOrganized at DeOrganized BTC. That is DeOrganized BTC. Follow it. Go to DeOrganized.media. Set up your profile. Visit the show schedule. Never miss a space or a podcast again. Stay in the know with DeOrganized, guys. I'll catch you guys on the flip side for the next episode. Peace.